Adesanya not have a lot of power to finish the fight very quickly. Israel is try avoid me. Israel, stop trying to avoid me.
He just run. He's nothing. He's scared. Adesanya is nothing. Adesanya is the most shameful champion I have seen ever.
We can drink some before the fight like Costa. Oh, I can't sleep. I can't sleep. Oh no.
Yellow. After Israel Adesanya masterfully picked apart and finished Paulo Costa with the same technique that got him in kickboxing, where Israel Adesanya grew and became far greater, Paulo Costa to this day has been making excuses. It makes sense as to why though, if you think about it, right? Paulo Costa is not as decorated as a fighter as much of the competition he's faced, yet he smashed all of them except for Adesanya. He literally came into fighting as a bodybuilder, and with his sheer physical ability, he crushed much of the competition. That's the intriguing thing about fighting, is it not? A lot of it is mental. Some argue that more than half is mental. Some say that 90% of it is mental. Either way, amongst the elites, this is now being established and shared, and is consistently being shared as the mainstream narrative. Performing at the highest levels of mixed martial arts is a mental feat few humans alive are capable of, and even so, even then, with more skilled opponents, if they don't have the right mental, they will consistently lose to the one who's sharp and zoned in. That is the story of Paulo Costa, and his grandeur, and his physical ability and commitment to his craft helped him consistently beat more decorated and technically superior fighters. That's Paulo Costa's edge. Physically, he's just this specimen of a man. Mentally, a man enveloped in grandeur. Thus, naturally, the thought of actually losing to this skinny Adesanya, it just doesn't make sense to him. Having such an adamant belief in both himself and his physique, there's no way he could lose to the skinny Israel Adesanya.
That's it. He's shameful. And Adesanya cannot handle against powerful guys, like Romero, like Joe Jones or me. That's why he's afraid. That's why he's avoid some fights against me, like against Joe Jones. He's avoid. I will make him cry. I will hit him very badly, and he will cry like a baby.
This is funny. Just because he's a skinny guy, I look like a monster. When I come back to fight, I look like a light heavyweight or heavyweight.
Based upon the physical difference between the two, Paulo Costa believed he would break Adesanya. That is what you heard Paulo Costa consistently say to Adesanya before their fight. Too skinny, implying that physically, Adesanya will not be able to handle the power of his muscular physique. His peak aesthetics build, implying a prime depiction of power. How could a skinny Israel Adesanya beat someone with muscles like mine? It does not make sense. In this sense, though, you begin to realize that the same mental construction, the same narrative or justification Paulo Costa used to bring himself to the top of this game is now the same one backfiring. Paulo Costa cannot handle the cognitive dissonance, the conflict in his belief structure, his grandeur, predicated on the narrative that physically he's just too strong for the competition, especially stronger than this skinny Israel Adesanya. How? Well, what's going to happen if Paulo Costa actually accepts defeat? What's going to happen if he admits that Israel Adesanya was better than him when he doesn't have the same body? If that was a motivating force to his entire fighting will, his spirit, his overall confidence, if that helped justify his confidence in that moment, if he accepts what happened, from there on out, he loses the justification he needed to get where he is in the first place. Thus, Paulo Costa, he will no longer have a guiding narrative justifying his confidence altogether. Without it, he will likely lose a key component to his overall success, literally his confidence. He cannot accept that. He can't accept feeling so low. He knows, at least intuitively, that without his aura, how is he going to thrive on the grand stage against this tier of competition? With a wrench thrown at those cogs. There's no way he can accept this. But what's the reality? What is the truth? His confidence and his mental have already been shook. You can't cover your eyes from the truth, as much as we avert our gaze. If we choose to demonize the truth, it will haunt us from the dark recesses of our minds. It will break our ability to maintain an aura, if not impede upon our ability to cultivate one altogether. In end, there's a disconnect where they can no longer perform at the same tier of proficiency.
Confidence for a fighter, it's everything. If you have the skill but no confidence, it's like having a lot of money in your bank account, but no, you don't have any way to accessing it. So it's useless.
That's just it. Our belief structures are what motivate us. They fuel us. They give us the ability to use what we've worked so very hard on. After all, if you can't justify confidence, if you can't work towards it, build it, and maintain it, it's very difficult to build confidence, thus be confident. Thus from there, you can't use what you've worked so hard on to use. Your own mind starts limiting you. But this is not how you get it back, is it? You will never get it back, making excuses. That's the curse of avoiding self-reflection. You will not only be prone to the same mistakes, but beyond that, because you have not rebuilt your justification for confidence, you will come in with less ability. Because without confidence, that ability will be stifled. That's the cost Paulo Costa pays every time he makes excuses. It's an irony. It's a paradox. Clinging to a shattered belief structure, he not only keeps himself from rebuilding it, but over time, with that tight grasp, he further shatters the very pieces he's trying to clutch. To that end, I hope Paulo Costa figures it out. I wish every fighter the best, even though this world is very ruthless. There is no participation trophy. And for that very reason, you have to respect every man who walks in there. And so, to that end, thank you, Paulo Costa, for this lesson. Thank you to all of you for watching, and until next time, peace.